I'm here. Hello, 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 hello. Ugh, sorry. It's it's been a few weeks, a rough few weeks at that. I was initially going to try streaming this during Labor Day weekend, but so much went on that I just couldn't. I was exhausted. There was some other stuff I was having to deal with, and then I needed to get done. But since this event is going to be ending in a few days, I figured I'd take today to stream. So, for those of you who for some reason are not familiar with this by now, every year around the time that A Realm Reborn was released, they have an event called The Rising, celebrating the anniversary of the calamity that fell in Eorzea. So we're going to be helping with that. I can hear a muted version of answers playing in the background now. The Wandering Minstrel. Wandering Minstrel seeks an adventurer both willing and able to help put the finishing touches to this year's Rising celebrations. Of all the coincidences, hardly believe it, but I was just this very moment reminiscing of the time you lent me your strength 12-month past. You see, I again find myself in pressing need of an adventurer's aid, just as I did last Rising. Oh, if only Sandra were here, I thought to myself. And here you are. Well then, what do you say? Shall we clasp arms once more? You got it. My thanks. The matter is this. I've been approached by a lady named Yo-Yo, who wishes to imprint her own inimitable mark upon the skies above Limsa Laminsa. I speak, of course, of the fireworks that illumine these rising nights. Learning of my contribution to previous year's festivities, she has enlisted me to her cause. We already have the ear of the organizing committee. However, Lady Yo-Yo has expressed a strong desire to consult with a storied adventurer before finalizing her proposal. Come to the Yellow Jackets' guardhouse at the base of the Coral Tower, and I will introduce you. I thought my Rogers killed, yeah. Huh. Is that for Scholar? Yeah, I never did that quest. I'll have to do that. I've been trying to, Am I blind? Where are they? Yeah, it's... Oh, okay. I was like, where are they? But I've been trying to work on leveling up my alt jobs so I could do the other role quests and get mentor status back. Alright, let's see. Here they are. A yo-yo. Lady Yo-Yo, one storied adventure as promised. Hello. Blessings of the 12 be upon ye. Name's Yo-Yo, Cannoneer First Class with the Yellow Jackets. It's an honor to have you aboard. Did I mention that it is the Yellow Jackets who are in charge of this year's festivities? Not only in decorating these fair limits and streets, but in designing and constructing the fireworks that brighten the skies above them. Yeah, because in the past, they've typically had the rising events start in Olda. This is the first time it's starting in Limsa. Hi, Datsia! Welcome, welcome, welcome. Alright. Lady Ayoyo here is quite the savant in all manners incendiary and explosive, and so it has fallen to her to formulate a plan for the display's crowning glory. Me and the other lads and lasses of the cannoneers whipped up a load of lovely little drakes, snakes, and devils for the Moonfire Fair, but more of the same ain't going to cut it for the rising. 'Cause it's all about remembering those we lost in the calamity, ain't it? Them and theirs deserve something a mite specialer than a bunch of old bangers. An admirable sentiment, I'm sure. It would not do for our ode to such poignant memories to be aught less than memorable. Let us make this year's rising one that the citizens of this fair realm will not soon forget. Took the words right out of me mouth, dearie. Thing is, having hardly set foot outside of Limsa in all me days, I don't reckon I'm best placed to know what's going on through the minds of the citizens of this fair realm. That was a mouthful. And so you would pick an adventurer's brains, one who has journeyed far and wide across the land we love, and knows it and its people intimately. Yes, I know it intimately. Yet before we call upon your particular wisdom, mayhap it would behoove us to seek out a wider range of opinions. Many a more look to the skies of rising night, and thoughts that run through their minds are no doubt as diverse. Let us learn from them. Okay. Sounds like a plan. Mind if I join you, dearie? Could do with learning some of these thoughts myself. Sure. Right then, where's best to start asking round? Someplace a lot of outsiders gather, I reckon. How about we meet in the Aetheryte Plaza down in the lower decks? While you two are so engaged, allow me to continue our discussions with the organizing committee. I shall await you by the aft castle. Alright. Going back up. Wait, there it is. Oh, that's a cute umbrella. I like that. I'll have to figure out where that comes from. I don't recognize it. Let's see. It's kind of funny that they had us go to the Aetheryte Plaza, because the Limsa Aetheryte is a very popular hangout, as you can see. So, this is probably pretty laggy for some people having to come here to do this quest. You see them lights down Elka's Alley, dearie? Decorations for the festival, they are. Every year when the streets are all decked out for the rising, me heart feels with, well, all kinds of feelings. Sorrow, pride, regret. But enough about me. We came here to find out how other folks feel about it. Let's split up, head down the alley, and ask a few likely-looking customers each. We're on schedule here, so don't go asking every single soul you see. 4 or 5 should do you. I'll meet you down by the ferry docks when you're done. Righto. Alright. A lot of people crafting. A lot are wanting to show off their glamours. Welcome, welcome. What may I interest you in this fine morning? Ah, information, is it? Well, if you really must know, the whizzing and banging that fills the air this season always takes me back to the time just before the calamity struck. A great festival was held to celebrate the reformation of the Grand Companies. People in the streets were hooting and hollering and setting off fire spouts, and all the ships on the bay, now bedecked in maelstrom colors, let loose their cannons. It seems so foolish now, knowing what was soon to befall us, but all that noise served a purpose nonetheless, drowning out the fear that ever whispered in our hearts. It is my firm belief that the rising fireworks serve the same purpose even now. They present a vision of loveliness, of togetherness, that we might forget our fears and be given hope for a brighter future. Very point. Well said. Let's find the next person in this area, probably here. Middle-aged mariner. Streets are full of life, the skies are full of fire, and the westerly winds filling our seafarers' sails as it does our hearts. I couldn't have picked a better time to come home. You a sailor too, are you? Technically. Helping with the fireworks, you say? Good on you, lass. I have a few memories of back then, if you've an ear to hear 'em. I'm a merchant seaman, you see, always sailing hither and thither across the waves. Was just back from a trip to Razadon when the calamity struck. Everyone was looking up to the sky and that loathsome lantern that hung low in it. Like most sorry. Like most folk, I don't remember much of what happened in the days before or after it fell. We'll never forget those faces. That's what I love so much about the fireworks. You see the same faces looking up, but this time with a smile. Reminds you not only of the bad times, but how we got over them. Yeah. It's still kind of interesting how everyone's kind of forgotten what happened around the calamity. I mean, obviously it's like, you know, it's plot reason for out of character situation that happened with the game, but it is kind of fascinating. And you see them too, my love. Hmm? You're involved with fireworks and want to know what I think of them? Well, just now I was wondering if they could be seen from far out in the offing. You know? Offing? I see. The reason I ask is that my husband is out there now. He meant to be back by rising light, but it seems the tide didn't turn in his favor. He was so looking forward to the fireworks. I do hope that he can see them from where he is, that we can share them together no matter how far apart we might be. That is my only request to you, that you make the finale as bright and boisterous as you can, that those who cannot be together this rising might still share in its message. It's a shame they can't be together right now. But, you know, usually they're doing the fireworks in more than one area, so I don't know if this year they're treating it as if it's really just in Limsa. Alright there, anything I can do for you? You're asking for people's thoughts on the rising fireworks? Who would have thought a great hero like you would have better things to do with your time? But I suppose that's what makes you a hero, huh? Helping people out whichever way you can. Well, I'm like most people, I suppose. I think of those I lost. My parents, most of all. I wonder if they're watching, too. Swung up from the bottom of the ethereal sea to see what all the crashing and banging's about. It's complicated, I suppose. I feel sad they're gone, but happy I'm not. And grateful to Baderon saving me and so many others. If they are watching, I hope they can see me too. See that I'm doing all right for myself. That they might sleep soundly for another 12 months. Aww. You know, I'm kind of curious if she's implying that they were on a boat and sunk during the calamity. Hmm. Let's go find Lady Yo-Yo. There we are. Where'd they go? Oh, okay, I see it now. Sometimes it's so hard to see the white text over a light-colored ground. Sorry to keep you waiting, dearie. So what did you find out? They told me this, and this, and that, and some of this. Same here. Was half expecting them to just like looking at the pretty lights, but it seems the feeling runs a lot deeper than that. The memories of the calamity still sit heavy in their hearts, but the rising fireworks go some way to lifting that weight. So, any ideas for the grand display? What kind of thing you reckon to uplift the spirits most? Something that gives people hope for the future. Hope for the future, eh? That ain't a bad idea. Reminding folk that however dark the night, dawn is just around the corner. Rising ain't just about mourning those we lost, after all. It's about remembering the struggles of those who survived, to steer us to a brighter future. Why, that's it. That's what Limsa needs this rising. Ships, cannons, a departure sloop. Not just for the fallen, but for those setting sail for unknown shores. A vision of the past and of the future. No bleeding armada filling Galadian Bay, lighting up the very heavens. Who wouldn't want to watch that? That sounds good to me. That's settled then. Ah, the minstrel's going to love it. He said he'd be up on the half castle, right? I'll see you there. Okay. To the half castle. There. Let's see now. 1,500 weight of fire sand at 500 yards from shore. Reckon we're going to need more ships. Our intrepid adventurer returns, and positively bursting with inspiration, I take it. I see. A traditional seafaring salute, not only to the memories of the fallen, but to the future. Tripping over my tongue here. Gotta try again. A traditional seafaring salute, not only to the memories of the fallen, but to the future fortune of those who follow in their wake. A most fitting proposal, I'm sure. Thanks to both of ye, but our work ain't done yet. There's a lot needs sorting out before we can put this idea into action. So much to do, so little time. If you wouldn't mind helping us a little longer, dearie, I'd be forever in your debt. Let me know when you got your loins good and girded. Alright. The display of such grandeur is not merely a matter of crafting the fireworks proper. We shall require the cooperation of a great many people, several of whom may be less than disposed to offer it. Yo-Yo asks for your continued assistance in seeing her plan for the rising fireworks realized. Right then, let's get started, shall we, dearie? The plan is, we're going to line up a whole fleet of ships across the bay and have them fire a broadside into the sky. But before we go about finding our fleet, we need to get the plan approved by the organizing committee. That means convincing Commodore Rayner. I'll take the lead, but I ain't exactly got the silverest tongue. Not much experience nobbling. I don't think I've ever heard that term before, nobbling. Not much experience nobbling with the high-ups. If you two see me struggling, put in a good word, would ye? Of course, my lady. Your cause is ours. Thank you, my dears. Together then, to the Cold Tower. Ooh. This one. Commodore Rayner worked his way up the ranks, all the way from rock bottom to the tippity top. He knows the workings of the thalassocracy and in and out, so any flaws in our proposal and he'll see right through them. Last I had the privilege of meeting with the Commodore was around the time of the calamity. I'd been arrested for conspiracy to incite rebellion. Naturally, it was all a misunderstanding. Some of the scurrilous soul had been singing songs of sedition. If not for Rayner and his relentless pursuit of the truth, I might still be lingering in the brick. He's a shrewd investigator who will brook no equivocation. Shall we then? Time for an interrogation. Wanting to make the rising display special, I can fathom, but the sheer scale of this proposal is beyond anything I'd imagined. A yo-yo, need I remind you that the first duty of the Yellow Jackets is the keeping of the peace? Filling the bay with ships will not only disturb the daily workings of the harbor, but is sure to foment agitation among the commons. Knowing this, do you still mean to persevere with this outlandish plan? I do, Commander. Every Levinson heart, every Eorzean heart still bears the scars of the calamity. All that loss, that hardship, that struggle, it cut deep. But the Rising ain't just about looking to the past. It's about looking to the future, too. And if it's our duty to watch over folk, keep 'em on the straight and narrow like, I reckon it's our duty to see 'em off on another year's journey, too. Well put. I accept that your intentions are pure, but what of the logistics? I trust that you have a plan as to who exactly will be providing and paying for this fleet of yours? Yes, Commander. We're going to petition the Maelstrom for the flagship and the rest from, the Black Sails. Oh. Of course, one is wont to forget that those buccaneering souls remain bound to serve the Maelstrom in times of necessity. Lady Yo-Yo would have us parley with 3 great pirate captains and remind them of their civic duty, it seems. Ah, that's right. The pirates answered the Admiral's call back when the moon was falling, fought and died at Cartano, same as the rest of us. When they hear about our plan to salute all those who fell and all those who didn't, I don't doubt they'll answer the call again. I wish you all the luck in the world in recruiting those rogues to your cause. You shall need it. Very well then, allow me to arrange the parley. Should you succeed in this feat, you may consider all of my remaining doubts answered. I bid you remember that you go to speak with pirates, lawless marauders all. Pray that you do not say aught to offend them, lest we find ourselves with a mutiny on our hands. Don't worry. I shall have the Maelstrom summon the leaders of 3 factions to the anchor yard. Pray go there and complete your preparations. Some water. It's been so hot. Hopefully I can have the air conditioning on. We are to parley with pirates. Truly, life is but a succession of unexpected events. Cheers for sticking with me, you two. I hope I can count on your support in the next set of negotiations and all. Of course, my lady. Alas, I fear the captains, those far-famed scourges of the seas, will prove rather less biddable partners than Commodore Rayner did. While Roswin of the Sanguine Sirens may be swayed by emotion, Carvalane of the Kraken's Arms is much more mercenary mind. The executioners, meanwhile, value honor and glory above all else. If there is aught that unites them, it is a zealous spirit. Let us argue with passion that we might inflame theirs. If it's passion you're after, I've got that in bleeding bucket loads. But I might need you two to jump in again in case me tongue decides to tie itself in that fitch. Just say the first thing that comes into your heads and I'll pick up after. Okay. Come on then, dearies. Let's head on over to the anchor yard and get this parley started. Where is the anchor yard? Oh, right. Okay, so we'll go to the aft castle and then jog. Hey, little gremlin, what are you doing? Hello? You want to say hi? No, you shy gremlin. Down you go. It's part of why I've been so stressed out. There's a couple of little gremlins I've been having to take care of. And I can't remember the last time I had to walk over to this point. Looks like there's some other people here doing the quest. You just don't want to stay down, do you? You keep climbing up my legs. I know. Just don't numb on the pencil this time, okay? I'm gonna take that. No pencil for you. Thanks for coming. The reason we asked you is... the Maelstrom summons laid it out for us loud and clear. You want us to help you with the rising fireworks? And the answer's no! When my sirens fire a broadside, it's to send our enemies to the bottom of the briny, not to paint pretty pictures in the sky for drylanders to gawp at. We've got better things to be doing with our time. 'Tis a rare occurrence, to be sure, but I find that my opinion lies with Roswin's. Our time is precious, as I am sure is yours. Let us hasten to draw these discussions to a close. I shall put it bluntly. I see no profit in this endeavor for myself and my men, unless there's anything else. No profit? How sad that the great Carvalane should lose his nose for coin. I did not come here to be insulted. If you know of a method by which the Krakens might stand to gain from this that I do not, then state it, or else hold your tongue. Or better yet, allow me to hold it for you. The sheer scale of the spectacle we propose would no doubt draw all the lords and ladies of the realm to gather in the city, personages of high renown and deep pockets. Aye, and if they saw you lot working in and with the maelstrom, it'd do wonders for your public image. Folks who normally wouldn't touch a pirate with a barge pole be queuing up to do business with you. I do believe you have a point, poorly phrased though it may be. To win legitimate business, one must project the image of a legitimate businessman. Sold your image, and sold anyone who's too lily-livered to trade with us. They can stick their barge poles up their backsides. What's in it for the sirens? So for those who don't remember, Roswin has a tsundere crush on Carveline, so I'm tempted to say the third. But she would flip out if I said that. So let's see. We won't consider them customers, consider them quarry. You do realize our days of pillaging every ship we see are long gone? Quarry my ass! Sanguine Silence ain't all about the pirate life though, are you? You run almshouses for the sick and injured and those with child, keep themselves busy with odd jobs such as come their way. Them's your hunters and the folk who are drawn to the city to see the grand display, your quarry. I see where you're going with this. Get the girls to set up stalls selling food and grog and the like, and then make a killing, providing they had all the right permits from the Yellow Jackets. You're a shrewd one, aren't you? Maybe I could lend them an hand myself. They do say the best way to a man's heart is through his What of the executioners? There's no dishonor in linking arms with Admiral Merweb and the Maelstrom, surely? You, Yellow Jacket, I want you to tell me one thing and tell it true. This is Limsa Lemensa, the greatest port in all the realm. You can farm this fleet of yours without our help, yet you've come here begging for it. Why? Because I reckon you're the ones who need the rising the most. The black sails only came together because of Cottonelle. You could have upped anchor and sailed off into the sunset, but no. You fought like demons on those cursed flats, made heroes of yourselves, and martyrs. Way I see it, it's only right that those that lost the most when they stood to gain the least should be the ones to fire the salute to the departed. And a salute to the departing, too. The calamity changed the lives of you pirates more than anyone. Anyone should be celebrating new beginnings. It's those whose new beginnings already begun. So it's all for our own good, is it? I'm heading back to the Astalicia. Send word when you've hammered out the details of this display of yours. We'll see what we can do. Aye, aye, Captain. Can't rightly say no to you now, can I? They lost a lot of good people back on Cottonelle. Send them all off with a bloody great bang. I will join you on one condition, that in your reminiscence of trauma past, you do not make a shameful spectacle of yourself. Pray do not force me to restrain you. Again. you to do nothing. You keep your hands off me if you want to keep them, you randy bastard. Quite the fragile flower, isn't she? Well then, I bid you adieu. My ships will not ready themselves. Yay! It's kind of funny how we're already hearing the fireworks since it's nighttime in the game. My hearty congratulations to both of you. It was my honor to play a supporting part, but it was your passion for the Rising that swayed them. And breathe. Oh, I was so nervous I could hardly speak. Thanks so much for chipping in when you did. Could never have gotten on my side without ye. Right then, time to put the finishing touches to this plan of mine. It's going to be wonderful, I just know it. Oh, and about your reward. I've given it to the minstrel. You can grab it from him. To new beginners, lass, and may the navigator's breath ever fill your sails. Bye. You did a great service, my friend, both for Lady Yo-Yo and for all those who love the Rising, myself included. For that, I shall ever be grateful. I expect it shall be some hours before preparations for the grand finale are complete. Maybe we could wait together? Wait for the firework display. Oh, hanging on this corner. While we wait, would you care to hear a verse that has lately come to me? It is a song of celebration, of encouragement for all those who sail for unknown shores. Pray, lend me your ears. I know where this is going. In a boat? I am on a boat. Greetings, warrior of light. This is a world that exists outside your reality. Could it be a dream? A flight of fancy conjured by your weary mind? Perhaps. Or perhaps not. It's a pleasure to meet you again. As I have in the past, I've beckoned you here that I might express my gratitude. The road we have walked has been long and winding, full of perils and pitfalls, but we have enjoyed every step in your company. We hope that you feel the same about this last great leap. With every adventure we undertake, the longer the legacy we leave behind us. Yet a lengthy history need not mean a foreshortened future. Many adventures yet await. We shall continue to chart a course into the great unknown, one that takes in all the diverse wonders this wide world has to offer, that your legacy might grow ever greater. To be certain, it would be a less trying task to sleepwalk ever onward down the same well-furrowed path. Yet to venture down paths untrodden, believing in the bright and glorious future that lies beyond them, by far the more rewarding. This is the gift that we wish to deliver unto you, gift of adventure. And we pray with all our hearts that you will continue to walk with us. We thank you for joining us on this journey, heretofore and hereafter. Now, the time has come for this vision to end. Time for your eyes to open from this waking dream. One cannot know what fills the hearts and minds of those who look to the sky this rising night. Perhaps you and I will see very different images in those explosions of light and color. But one thing I know for certain, that right here, right now, we look to the same sky. And though the paths that lay ahead of us may lead in very different directions, sometime, someplace, they shall cross again. Thank you, Yoshida-san. It is almost time for the display to begin. A consummation not only of our labors, but of the thoughts and prayers of the people of this fair city. A salute for the departed, and for those who set sail into unknown waters. Many adventures yet await you, my friend. May the navigator's breath ever fill your sails. From eastern sea to eastern sky, the sacred sun ascends, and voices stir of wind, of waves, of ropes, of sails of friends, who like the golden light of dawn that streams across the sea, set sunlit sail for foreign lands. May fortune follow thee. For journey done, so sinks the sun below the western waves, and memories stir of friends of yore, asleep in watery graves. Let not our voices raised in song disturb your endless sleep, but join us in our chorus as you dream on the deep. An excerpt from an ancient mariner's song. Prayer for the safe return of those who sail o'er the far horizon, for the peace of those who sleep beneath those same eternal waves. It concludes with a wish that the voices of those whose spirits are stirred in anticipation of new adventure reach the ears of those whose adventures ended too soon, that they might be united as one. A fitting sentiment for the rising, methinks. And so I offer my own heartfelt wish, that even should your adventures carry you beyond the far-flung horizon of this wide world, we should meet once more in a 12 months' time, look up to the same sky together. Wouldn't miss it. Yay! You've unlocked the toy chest. Well, I've already had that unlocked. Certain notable personages have been seen to frequent the anchor yard this rising. Do the same and you may be greeted with an unexpected encounter. For 11's sake. Alright, let's bust out Crow. Sorry, Black Kitten. Time to show off the new one. Alright. Minions. Oh yeah, I forgot I bought a whole bunch recently, so... Yeah, there she is. Brushed up Crow. On the occasion of the anniversary of Eorzea's rebirth, the Adventurers Guild commissioned a new mammoth designed in Crow's likeness. With the hood of her Pictomancer's attire drawn back to reveal her precious earring, she exudes a spirit of adventure and discovery. I'm eager to put my Pictomancy to the proof. Too soon! No! Come on. Oh. Now, I know for the wind-up ones, usually you have to put the Mammotheer title on, and that'll let it react to emotes. Let me... at the bottom of this one? There we go. Safe. Alright. So... okay. Handover works. That doesn't do anything. There we go. Poke gets her to do her little thing. Let's poke again. Then we'll do depots so I can feel it better. Yeah, she does her little brushing up. It looks good. Let's get out of that. So where? Here we go. So I've heard there's like several people we can see here. A soft westerly wind blows across the anchor yard. Enjoy the sea breeze a while. Yes. You hear footsteps approaching. Turn and see. We'll go in order. The proprietor of the Drowning Wench. If it ain't my old pal Alessandra, here to beg the old bird for guidance too, are you? Joby said you had an hand in this year's fireworks. Not a bad job you made of them neither. I did my part. You bet she'll be down in Arca's alley, eh? Sent her to pick up some stock for the wench, but do you know what she brought me back? Only a bottle of bleeding Bacchus. Paid for it out of her own pocket, she did, to thank me again for saving her life. Don't know why she's so hung up about it. Girl's paid me back 100 times over with all her hard work over the years. Felt a bit bad accepting it, like, but, well, a bottle of Bacchus is a bottle of Bacchus. Reckon it's you we should be thanking anyway for that marvelous display. All the ships in the harbor, the fire in the sky, brought back a lot of memories. Some good, some bad. Every one of them well worth remembering. We ain't done making them yet. You'll be off on your next adventure soon enough, I wager. But you can't rightly be striding out on an empty stomach now, can you? Come up to the witch and we'll fill your belly. I will. Thank you, Padron. Next! The head chef of the Bismarck. Culinarian trainer. Well, well, well. Come to feel Lamlin's breath on my face, and only to find the faithless Bassam whispering in the ear of another. Have you been keeping, Alessandra? We've got you to thank for the rosin display. A yo-yo's been singing your praises from Fisherman's Bottom to the Coral Tower. What? What, surprised on Lure? Limbs is a small place, lass. Hardly a day goes by I don't see a yellow jacket or several in the Bismarck. Whether it's to sup on the finest food and wine this side of the sea, or to clap the irons on those who've tapped the casks a touch too thirstily. Suppose an adventurer like you mightn't have noticed, always coming and going as you are, but stick around in the city for a while and you see. Jackets ain't just axes for hire, they're true friends of the common folk. The Yo-Yo was a retainer before the calamity struck, you know. The master had a thing for fireworks. Every time they came back from their wanderings, they'd load her down with an hundredweight of spouts and spinners they'd picked up from God knows where. That's a good shot. Day and night, you'd see her down by the market ward, beaming that sunny smile of hers at every passerby, trying her damnedest to flaunt the stuff. Enjoyed the work, I reckon, but then Dalamud fell and she lost her master. Literally lost him. The way she tells it was if the calamity burned an hole in her memory. They fell straight through. Couldn't remember their face nor the name. But she never forgot the fireworks. The amount of gunpowder that went through her hands over the years, she couldn't help learning a bit about making things go bang. An apprenticeship with the cannoneers later, and she was a yellow jacket. So when I heard they were the ones who'd been put in charge of the Rising display, I knew she'd be first to volunteer. Rising, fireworks, they mean a lot to her. As a friend, they mean a lot to me. So thank you. You're welcome. The Admiral herself. Alessandra, this is a coincidence. Reina was just telling me of the role you played in putting the display together. I'm sure all those who gathered in my city to witness it were as moved as I. A salute to all those who set sail for new adventures. It shall surely resound in their hearts, and give them strength and courage in the year to come. Thank you, Merwin. And a salute to the fallen, too, was it not? Many and more lost their lives on the fields of Cartnell, the men and women of the Black Sails chief among them. I thank you for giving those who survived them this chance to put their grief to more productive ends. Thank you for giving the celebrations an unmistakable touch of salt, too. This year's rising was not merely in Limsa Lumensa, but of her. Look forward to seeing how future host cities follow our example. But for now, let us focus on the present. I'm sure I've kept you from your business for far too long already, and I must return to mine. I must offer my prayer to Lemlin and be on my way. Fare you well, Alessandra. I wish you safe voyages for the year to come. May the navigator's breath ever fill your sails. Thank you, Merwin. The acting captain of the Bloody Executioners. To be fair, I was surprised he wasn't the one that came earlier. If it isn't me old mate, Alessandra. I heard you had a hand in the fireworks, but I thought you'd be long gone by now. Glad you stuck around, though. Gives me a chance to thank you. What? For getting the executioners involved, like. Pardon me. Can't say you didn't run us ragged, getting the whole fleet loaded up with 10 tons of fire sand and ready to sail at a moment's notice. But it was well worth it in the end. Aye, there's nothing a pirate enjoys more than a bit of the old pyrotechnics. Perfect send-off for shipmates past and present. Even got me in the guts, so it did. Most risings I spend at the bottom of a flagon, thinking of those we lost and salting my grog. This salute's only gone and put the wind in my sails. I'm up an anchor tomorrow at search of an island sanctuary of my own, somewhere to bury me booty. Wish me luck, Alessandra, and may Lamlin's breath ever blow at your back. Icy card. Alright. One more. An explorer and his baby Oppo Oppo! I knew it was you. I could tell it from your bearing. Forgive me. It gladdens me that our paths should cross again, of course, and that I find myself somewhat lost for words. It's okay. Are you well? What brings you here? Oh, I was helping with the fireworks. Is that so? I should have known it. It is very much like you to help others fulfill their dreams, bring life and light to the world. I always liked festivals, as did all my brethren. Though the celebrations have taken diverse forms over the years, all brought smiles to the faces of our children, and in turn ours. Though it was our custom, nay our duty, to watch over you from the Phantom Realm, one among us was so drawn to the music and the merrymaking that he adopted a mortal form, that he might join you in your revelry. And every festival has imbued the hopes and dreams of mortal man. You implore the gods to listen to your pleas and they hear you. They still do. Alexa pass should cross. Bye, Derek. Bye, little one. Alright, that's it then. That was all of them. Ah. You know what? Maybe we'll hang here. So, thank you guys for hanging out with me this afternoon. I was just planning to mainly stream the event before it ended in a few days, so thank you for being here. My goal, as I mentioned earlier, I've been trying to catch up on a couple of things, like I've been behind on the shared fates from Endwalker, so I've been using that as a way to level up a little bit for one of the alt jobs I'm working on. But my main goal is to get Dancer, Dark Knight, Reaper, and Pictomancer to 100, and then I'll do all of the role quests, and if it makes it where I can redo the healer one, I'll also do that so you guys can see that as well. See the whole set. I was also trying to catch up on leveling up my island sanctuary so I could start getting Felicitous favors, because I want to get the Ardenium mount, because I've been seeing a lot of people flying around with it and it looks awesome. So I've been logging on every day to kind of work on that. Just a little sidebar before I go. I mean, I mentioned the gremlins earlier, but part of what made last week pretty rough is I do something for our feral community cats here called TNR, which stands for Trap and Release. It's hard when, you know, you're making an effort to try and help them and it doesn't always work out, you know. We unfortunately had 2 females that we couldn't trap in time, which meant that there were kittens. And it's really hard, especially this time of year. It's really hard to find rescues that are willing to take kittens in and foster them, because I'll tell you, I was having to call a lot, and a lot of them were saying, we're full, or we don't take from the public, you have to turn them into a shelter, and yet the risk is, you know, turning to a shelter, there's no guarantee they'll get picked up, and if they're overwhelmed, you know, they euthanize some. So I just have a request. If you happen to have any cats in your neighborhood, that whether they're feral, whether they're strays that someone left behind, you know, try and see if there's a local rescue in your neighborhood that offers loaning of traps, so you could do their trap and release program. That way you can, you know, help. They usually do vaccinations when they do trap and release, so you're not only making it so that those cats don't have to end up with more litters of kittens, but you give them a better quality of life while they're having to live outdoors. So if you can, please see if there's a trap and release program that you could join in your area and help support your own community cats, whether they're strays or ferals. And if you have a pet cat, please make sure you get them spayed and neutered. Usually local cities will offer vouchers, so it's not as expensive to do so. Please, please, I urge you, please get your cats spayed and neutered. Or dogs, for that matter, if you have dogs. Anyway, let's see the state of things. Here. Go to the page, please. Okay. Alright. So, that's it for now. Once again, thank you for being with me today. If you haven't yet, please feel free to subscribe to my Twitch channel. It'll help me with my goals here on Twitch. For those watching in the future, thank you for checking out my VODs. Please be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channels. You'll be able to see when more VODs are available, as well as when I release any upcoming songs on my main channel. Well, that's it for now, guys. Have a fantastic day. See you next time. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.